Hey, this is Jeff Karras, your behavior guy. I am back. Now I have one of these fancy light up stand thingies that holds your phone, so you won't see me holding my phone out like this in my videos. So they're going to be a little bit more professional. That was my Father's Day gift. All right, so here we go. So we've been talking about the different functions of behavior, looking at those functions, whether it's escape or avoidance. A child is trying to avoid a task or avoid something, or escape a situation, whether it's attention seeking, whether it's a sensory seeking thing, or if a child, sometimes they just act out because they want an item, a tangible item, right? So we've talked about some strategies for the escape and the attention seeking. Today I'm going to hit on that wanting an item, right? Obviously, as a parent, as an educator, if a child's acting out with negative behaviors, do not give them the item that they're acting out for. We've all seen or heard a child in a store wanting an item. They want this toy and a parent says no. Child throws a tantrum. Parent tells them to get up, move on. They're starting to get embarrassed, right? Child's tantrum gets a little bit more extreme. Last thing that parent wants to do is give in, because the minute you give in, what you've done is you've reinforced that behavior, saying, look, if you throw a tantrum, I'm going to tell you no, but if you throw more of a tantrum and I get embarrassed, then I'm just going to give you what you want. So next time, make sure you throw the biggest tantrum ever. Take it to the next level, because eventually you know I'm going to cave, right? So don't do that. But what you do want to do is, if a child wants something and they're starting to have negative behaviors, give those clear, concise redirections. No, you're not getting this. Here's what I need you to do. Stick to that. Use that broken record technique that we talked about previously. Stay with that calm, neutral tone, because you do not want to start escalating your tone, your emotions, because they're going to match you. So stay neutral. Another strategy you could use is have a non-verbal cue. So a nonverbal cue would be something you discuss with that child or that student ahead of time, right? Hey, I know sometimes when you don't get an item you want, you start to act out. When that happens, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put out one finger, and that's going to let you know in 1 minute we're going to talk about this, but we need to calm down for a minute, and then we can have a private one-on-one conversation when there's not an audience around. So then that child can talk to you later, that student can talk to you later. You might have like a little visual card that you print off for them if that's what they agree on, but talk through that with them ahead of time, and that non-verbal cue might help de-escalate that situation. All right, we'll hit some more strategies coming up. This is Jeff Karras, your behavior guy. I will see you later.